Our next event is the men's sprint last 8 finals, and this promises to be another enthralling race, a set of races, because we've got 6 of them. Hoogerland against Awang, Lebrassen, the world champion against Sarom. Jack Carlin from Great Britain's been outstanding against young Sebastian Vigier from France. World record holder Nicholas Paul against the local favourite Yuta Wakimoto. Dimitrev, the former world champion, against the defending champion Jason Kenny, and Max Levy against Sam Webster. So the winner of each of these heats qualifies to the quarterfinals. The losers go to the last 8 repechage round.
So Awang is a small rider from Malaysia. The race has started, and he's up against Jeffrey Hoogerland, the big Dutchman, who's relatively more powerful, faster, but Awang is an exciting rider, and he can come off a wheel pretty quick as well. So Awang would have studied every move of Hoogerland's heats up until this point, and he's trying to put pressure on Hoogerland, the Dutchman, to come to the front. And he'll keep doing this until he tries to get himself in the back position behind. He knows he can come off a wheel very quick. The skills of these riders are absolutely amazing. And now we'll see Awang pedal backwards, just try and go faster than slower to push Hoogerland in front. He may have just decided that's not going to be possible now.
Diving down goes Hoogerland, still looking. Awang starting to wind it up. He's now where he wanted to be, and they wind it up to take the bell now with Jeffrey Hoogerland leading Awang.
Awang will give a little bit of space here, and then he'll run at the wheel as hard as he possibly can. Here he comes.
Can he get past the big, strong Dutchman who's looked so comfortable in all his rounds so far? And again, he wins with relative ease, Jeffrey Hoogerland. He's only raced 3 times, and he's now into the quarterfinals direct. Awang will have to go to the repechage round once again.
So if you're going to come and try to come off the wheel of any man, I think this would be the hardest man's wheel to come off. He's so solid and strong on the bike. So taking their last big deep breaths before they come off the start line. Here's Awang trying to come up the boards and force Hoogerland to the front, but Hoogerland has perfect skills as well, and he didn't make any mistakes. Awang trying to come off the wheel in the last corner, but Hoogerland just too strong and solid on the bike. Shake of the hands there.
A sort of fist bump. So Awang, who's had to race 2 more races than Hoogerland, will have to do again as he goes to the repechage rounds. Our next event, the second heat of the last 8 in the men's sprint. This is Harry Lebrassen, the Dutch world champion. So powerful and has been in great form. They already have an Olympic gold medal in the men's sprint. And this is his opponent. Second of the Malaysians, Muhammad Shah Fidas Saharom.
Well, I think we're going to see a very similar race here. This big, powerful Dutchman against the smaller rider from Malaysia.
Second heat underway in the last 8 of the men's sprint. Harry Lebrassen, the world champion from the Netherlands, against Muhammad Shah Fidas Saharom.
Lebrassen, the Dutch man at the back, he comes from a BMX background, and he had to switch over because of injuries, shoulder injuries in BMX. There was just too much impact. But the Malaysian Saharom, he is taking it out from the front.
And perhaps where he wants to be right now.
Yeah, he's swinging up the track to try and put pressure on Saharom to pick up the speed and put pressure on his legs. That's why they take height on the bank. It puts pressure on the rider in front to start working harder. And Lebrassen's doing a fantastic job.
He's He's got so much power, the Dutchman, as he goes to the bell and takes the lead now. The power off the bend on that back straight. He's got a big lead now. Sarom is not going to get past this wheel, that's for sure. Harry Lebras, and the world champion, is in imperious form here in Tokyo. So composed, so clean.
Yeah, and the Dutch team have looked that way right from the start of competition, just really in control, solid on the bike, very calm. They're getting their tactics right, but they've got the power and the speed that they have at the moment. The men from the Netherlands is unbelievable.
They've got their sprint team and their sprint tactics so well dialed. Levriessen and Hugeland.
Well, Levriessen with his power there, given he has shoulder injuries, he's had 30 dislocations of his shoulder, and to be able to put that much force through them, it's quite remarkable.
Confirming the results of Heat 2 in the last 8 of the men's sprint, Harry Levriessen getting the better of Mohamed Sarom of Malaysia. The third heat features Great Britain's Jack Carlin and Frenchman Sébastien Vigier. Carlin got past Nathan Hart and Sarom in the last 16, Hart in the last 32. And Vigier had to go the long way round. Vigier is going to have to work hard here against Jack Carlin, who's shown some good form.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlin the man to beat in this round. What can Vigier do? So the white powder on the hands as they roll off the start line.
Vigier, the Frenchman on the front. Jack Carlin, second rider here in Heat 3 of the last 8 of the men's sprint.
You can see the concentration. The sprint is such a tactical race. Vigier just keeping an eye on Carlin. He's obviously got the idea of what tactic he wants to use, but Jack Carlin, he can't be intimidated. So it looks like the Frenchman is trying to force Carlin to the front.
Looking over his shoulder all the while, winding it up now is Vigier. French have a proud history of producing great men's sprinters.
Extremely good tactics from Carlin. It really forces Vigier into a vulnerable position. Makes him go long. Now they'll start the sprint proper. 1 lap to go. Vigier just trying very hard to hold off Carlin, but Carlin's going to come home fast.
And he is. Jack Carlin now gets past Vigier, but he could be fighting the Frenchman. It's going to be very close, but in the end, Carlin rolls away and powers to victory for Great Britain. And through to the quarterfinals, Jack Carlin.
Such a mental game out there with the sprinters. You really have to keep your heart rate under control, stay relaxed and be confident in what you're doing. And the confidence comes from studying your opponents, finding their weak points, working out how to beat them. For Jack Carlin of Great Britain, he is through now to the next round as Vigier did all he could.
Looks across another race done, ticks that one off.
Yeah, we've spoken about before, the men's sprint can be very demanding. They have to keep backing up. So it's a sprint race, but you need to have the endurance to keep backing up sprint after sprint.
Heat 4 in the men's sprint last 8. The man who owns the fastest time in the sprint at the moment in the world. Nicholas Paul from Trinidad and Tobago, and he's up against Akimoto Yuta from Japan. A big moment this is.
No doubt there will be a lot of nerves racing against what we could say is the fastest man in the world at the moment from Trinidad and Tobago. You see, rolling up to the line, Nicholas Paul.
He's gone straight through Nicholas Paul, and we've beaten Matt Richardson and Mohamed Awang. Whilst Wakimoto got past Kevin Quintero, then lost to Jason Kenny and went to the repechage rounds and got past Stefan Buttiger, the former world champion. Underway is heat number 4 in the men's sprint last 8. Nicholas Paul, the bottom of the track from Trinidad and Tobago, against Wakimoto Yuta from Japan.
Well, what can Wakimoto do? He would have had to think this one through many times.
The home crowd have got their eyes fixed on this one.
They both want to sprint long. They want to try to use endurance. Wakimoto's really pushing Nicholas Paul.
He's a very skilled Kirin rider, is Wakimoto Yuta. Not afraid to get shoulder to shoulder. Here goes Nicholas Paul of Trinidad and Tobago from the front now. Can he bring it home? He's got tremendous power. He is the world record holder, and he proves it again here in Tokyo. Too much power for the Japanese rider. Trinidad and Tobago's Nicholas Paul wins, and he goes directly through to the quarterfinals.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Nicholas Paul would not have been expecting to have to work that hard for that long in that race. So a great tactic from Wakimoto. He tried to take him long and put him under pressure, not let him use his raw power and speed. That would have been fantastic if Wakimoto was doing that from the inside. He may have had a chance. And you can see how much fatigue gets taken out of the rider from Trinidad and Tobago. Nicholas Paul, he had to work really hard. Coach in the corner telling him to wipe off the speed already before he gets to the finish line and save his legs.
So Nicholas Paul, a comfortable winner. And Wakimoto Yuta has to go through to the repechage round of the sprint. There's so many repechage rounds, so riders have to work really hard if they lose early. It pays to keep winning, because Nicholas Paul has only had 3 races in his legs now. Our 5th heat in the last 8 of the men's sprint. Former world champion Denis Dimitrev against the current Olympic champion and 2-time world champion Jason Kenny. This is a race to savour.
This will be a fantastic one. 2 very experienced riders on the start line.
Well, Kenny got past Awang and Wakimoto. Dimitrev had to go a little bit, he got past Ryan Hillel. So Denis Dimitrev goes to the front in this 5th heat in the men's last 8 of the sprint, with Jason Kenny of Great Britain, the defending champion, on his wheel.
Well, we've seen Kenny use his experience to get to this point, lacking a tiny bit of speed, but maybe just racing his way in throughout this competition. He's been quite confident and comfortable with the wins that he's had, but just missing that top-end speed that might be coming in the final days of the sprint now. But he doesn't often make a tactical error. Jason Kenny's riding from the back. Dimitrev keeping an eye on him. They will both know each other very well.
2 of the most experienced racers in the game, these 2.
So Jason Kenny coming now. He wants to take the lead early. Will he get around? He's taken the long way. No, he's just done that to force pressure.
Dimitrev responded. So Dimitrev, Kenny now on the outside. Dimitrev out the saddle on that back straight. Kenny goes on the outside, tries to pull him back in. It's going to be very close. Jason Kenny's going to have to work really hard to win this. He won't. A win for Denis Dimitrev of the Russian Olympic Committee over the defending champion, Jason Kenny.
Well, he certainly did everything right tactically, and so did Jason Kenny, but the tactics he's used in the past are not quite working without that maximum speed that we've seen in his legs before. It's just not there yet at the Tokyo Olympics, so don't count him out. He still has a chance to come through the repechage.
Well,
there we see the tactic. He wanted to lay off the wheel and come at him, but Dimitrev in the final straight, he didn't die, he just powered on, picking up the speed to take the win, and that was a significant win for this championship.
It really is. So Jason Kenny, if he is to defend his title, is going to have to go the long way round and really produce some results here. In his 4th Olympic Games, Max Levy is next on the track against Sam Webster. So Levy, the silver medalist in the Kieran in his time, and a man who's got so much experience, as has Sam Webster. Remember, the winner goes through to the quarterfinals direct. Gets to the repechage rounds. Sam Webster of New Zealand and Max Levy of Germany on the track in the final heat of the last 8 in the men's sprint.
Well, Levy picking up the pace at the back. He wants to put pressure on Webster, and he's done that. He's done exactly what he wanted to do. Max Levy and Sam Webster. Max Levy at the back for Germany, Sam Webster at the front for New Zealand. It looks like Levy has got this tactically in hand, but will he have the power to come over Sam Webster? That's the big question. 1 lap to go. The race is on.
Bell and Webster's trying to hold on the front. Levy's winding it up now. He's got off the wheel, then he's going over the top. Can he get past him on the bend here? Levy, does he have enough power? He does. The German will take the win.
Yeah, the tactics were exactly what Levy wanted in that race, and he just had to rely on his brute strength and power to come over Sam Webster in the finish straight.
Yeah, it means a lot to Max Levy. He's through directly to the quarterfinals, the big, powerful German.
And we see the replay just cleaning the tyres, making sure there's nothing on them. They're not slippery if they have to do a track stand at the top of the track. Sam Webster fighting really hard, but Max Levy just too strong and powerful in the home straight. Takes the win and goes straight through to the quarterfinals, and he is happy about that.
Yeah, the workload. He was in the sprint